In a monastery, there was a benevolent abbot. One day, a one-handed beggar came to ask for alms. The abbot pointed to a pile of bricks in front of the door and said, "Help me move these bricks to the backyard." The beggar angrily replied, "I only have one hand. How can I do that? If you don't want to give me alms, just say so. Why mock me?" The abbot said nothing, picked up a brick with one hand, and said, "Such a task can be done with one hand." The beggar had no choice but to use his one hand to move the bricks. It took him 2 hours to finish the task. The abbot handed the beggar some silver coins. The beggar, grateful, said, "Thank you." The abbot replied, "No need to thank me. This is money you earned yourself." The beggar said, "I will never forget you," then bowed deeply and left. A while later, another beggar came to the monastery asking for alms. The abbot took him to the back of the house, pointed to the pile of bricks, and said, "Move the bricks to the front, and I will give you some silver coins." This time, the able-bodied beggar disdainfully walked away. The disciple, puzzled, asked the abbot, "Master, last time you asked the beggar to move the bricks from the front to the back, and now you ask this beggar to move them from the back to the front. Where exactly do you want the bricks?" The abbot replied, "It doesn't matter whether the bricks are in the front or the back. But for the beggars, whether they move them or not makes all the difference." Years later, a distinguished man with only one left hand came to the monastery. He was the beggar who had moved the bricks with one hand. Since the abbot asked him to move the bricks, he found his own value and, through hard work, became a wealthy man. This time, he donated a large sum of money to the monastery. As he left, he encountered a beggar, who turned out to be the same able-bodied beggar from before, still a beggar. The abbot said to his disciple, "You see, this is fate. Fate is entirely created by oneself." Moral: wealthy people are not born wealthy, and beggars are not born beggars. Many wealthy people become wealthy because they work hard. Many beggars remain beggars because they prefer to live off others. Remember, fate is created by oneself. Buddhist scripture, the Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra or Heart Sutra, is a concise scripture with only 260 characters, part of the larger Prajnaparamita Sutras consisting of 600 scrolls. It is considered the essence of the Prajnaparamita teachings. There have been 7 Chinese translations, the most famous being by Qamar Yiva in the later Qin dynasty and Xuanzang in the Tang dynasty. Turning back is not difficult. One day, 2 monks set out to the town at the foot of the mountain to buy the weekly necessities for the monastery. There were 2 paths, a short one requiring them to cross a rickety old bridge over a large river, and a longer one that circled around a mountain and crossed a small stream, taking almost a day. They chose the shorter route, but when they reached the bridge, the elder monk noticed a crack at the front end of the bridge. He quickly stopped the younger monk, saying, "This bridge might not hold. We need to turn back and take the longer route." The younger monk, seeing the crack, hesitated and said, "Turn back. We're already here. Can we still turn back? The town is just across the bridge." Knowing the younger monk's stubborn nature, the elder monk picked up a stone and threw it onto the bridge. With a loud crack, the old bridge collapsed into the rushing river below, its broken pieces quickly disappearing. On the way back, the younger monk, grateful but puzzled, said, "Senior brother, it's a good thing you tested the bridge. Otherwise, I would have lost my life." The elder monk replied meaningfully, "As long as you understand to let go, turning back is not difficult." Buddhist wisdom: form is emptiness, and emptiness is form is from the Heart Sutra. Form refers to the shapes, colors, and states of objects. To understand things, we need information, which is form. Emptiness means that the Buddha does not need these forms to understand a person or object, because the Buddha has reached a level where knowing the cause is to know the effect. Therefore, the Buddha sees things not through forms but directly. So form is emptiness, and emptiness is form.